fans everywhere are very familiar with the name Lynn Anderson. She reigned over the country music scene in the 70s with a long string of hits, but a couple of years ago she just stopped recording to pursue some personal goals. But today, Lynn Anderson is on the comeback trail, and in somewhat of a surprise move, she shirked the majors and is signed with a small, relatively unknown Dallas label called Permian Records. Tonight, we'll find out about Lynn Anderson in the 80s.
The hardest thing, I think, for any artist to do is to have a million seller the first time out. You know, because people expect you to know how to be a star, and it ain't easy, folks.
For Lynn Anderson, big-selling records started coming when she was in her teens. Now, at age 35, she has learned what it means to be a star.
Yeah, I guess I really have. You know, I really, the first record I ever made when I was a kid, I was still in school, you know, was in the top 5, and the second one was #1, and it just...
Who pioneered country pop crossover with her record-breaking hit, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden, is in Dallas to shoot a cover for a new album, her first since she walked out on the music business 5 years ago.
I really had come to a point in my life where I thought I had accomplished all the goals I'd set for myself in the music business. You know, I'd won all the awards that were available to me, and you know, after you get a Grammy and a gold record and a platinum record and the CMA awards and all that stuff, you think, well, you know, maybe I can do it again, but, you know. So I accomplished all the goals I had set, and so I stayed home and had a family.
But the woman who was known as the Grace Kelly of country music found her marriage to Harold Stream was not as easy as singing a hit song.
My husband was really not supportive of the show business part of it. His family was not very well oriented or accepting of showbiz types, you know. The showbiz type was...
You were one of them.
I was one of those, you know.
Now, with 3 kids to support, Lynn has turned again to her roots, and she plans to shout it out loud and clear that Lynn Anderson is back.
Good. Good. All right, Lynn, I think we almost have it. Good. Good smile.
You never know if people are going to accept you again, you know, after you just kind of walk away and leave it. Things change and new people come along, and my daddy always said, never stop growing, because, you know, or never stop moving forward, because there'll be 25 people behind you that'll run over your back to get where they want to get to.
Good.
She is known as one of the queens of country music. That's proven by the fact that she has won virtually every award available to a female singer in the business.
Chuck Robinson is the president of Permian Records, a small, relatively unknown Dallas label that pulled off a major coup by snatching the country music veteran.
Trying to figure out sequencing on the album as opposed to what I'm going to do on the MCA show.
The song selected for Lynn's comeback will be important to the public's acceptance of her after a long absence, and she is not about to leave it to chance.
And, you know, I've had records that have gone pop before, and, you know, looking at it now, I want to make sure that the first record, for sure, there's no question about whether or not it's country. So that one I feel real secure about. I feel like, you know, every country DJ will say, yeah, that's a country record, all right, you know, we'll play that.
This ain't the first I've heard about her. You keep a secret like a fish keeps dry. If she's got your heart, then she's got a heartache. Don't say you're sorry, just say goodbye. Oh, but I won't be sad. You can't lose what you never had. Oh, how could I feel bad? You can't lose what you never had.
And I've never really been through a lot of pain before. So now I have, you know, now I've gone through a lot of things that, you know, I really feel like I can sing some of those songs with a lot more feeling and a lot more understanding.
Times have changed. I
long time, I never let myself get too serious about the business because I kept feeling like, you know, this came so easily that just as easily as it came, it can go away too. My mother always said, don't lose your day gig, you know. She always told me to keep up the typing and the shorthand, remember how to cook, things like that, you know.
Well, today she only uses that shorthand to prompt herself about lyrics to a song. And Mom's influence is supplemented by the wisdom of a role model entertainer and former employer, Lawrence Welk.
Is there still some of that young girl that was on Lawrence Welk down in there now?
Oh, absolutely. I still remember many, many lessons from Lawrence Welk. One of the main ones was he said, listen, you have the hardest job of anybody in the business world. Because, you know, he would say that most people go to work and they have one boss, one person that they're responsible to. If they please that person, they're home free. You have thousands of bosses. Any one of those people in this audience can fire you.
And you've remembered that?
You bet.
Do you want it now as badly as you did when you were, say, in your late teens?
I want it worse now. I have something to prove to myself and a lot of other people. And I'm determined to do it.
That's what I learned from loving you.
Lynn's single, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden, was the second best-selling single of the entire decade during the 70s. And she's hoping that her current new release, called You Can't Lose What You Never Had, will do just as well in the 80s. That's scheduled to be out this spring, and you can look for the album sometime in this summer. And as for us, we're coming right back after a short time out, so stay with us.